to the Cocoa Crafts YouTube channel, and we are in September. Yay! Autumn is coming, it's my favorite season, so I'm really happy. So this month we have a special combo of patterns as our patterns of the month. So I'm gonna be talking about Nutmeg, the trench and jacket pattern, and then I'm gonna be talking about Hazelnut, which is our first and only accessory sewing pattern, which is a backpack. So yeah, I'm really happy to be doing this kind of changing of seasons and going back to school or work type of thing. So yeah, I hope that you're all very well, and let's start. Okay, so first I'm going to be talking about Nutmeg, and I've got my little list of details about the pattern. So first of all, Nutmeg is our first outwear pattern, and I'm really happy and excited about this one. I launched the pattern last year. I think it was in 2021 September or a little bit earlier. So I'm very happy because I think it is a great first outwear project for people who have never made outerwear garments. It doesn't have a lining, so that's always good news. It's super easy to put together. Pieces are big. It's one of those patterns that you don't need to fiddle a lot about anything. So yeah, I think it's one of those that it would be great for beginners. If you're a beginner and you're thinking about making your first jacket or kind of coat or something like that. So Nutmeg is great for in between seasons, I think, and then if you layer up, so imagine autumn and then spring, and then if you want to just wear it with more layers underneath when it's getting colder, I think it is just perfect for that. So I'm gonna show you first. This is the jacket version. So this one has this type of patch pockets, as you can see here, and I'll show you on the other sample that you can also have like a flap covering them, but you have those two options. You have the patch pockets and then with or without the flap. And then we've got a flat collar, and in this case you can put a ruffle. Of course you can just interchange things between the trench and the jacket versions. So you've got the flat collar, and then you've got the possible optional ruffle, and then the sleeves are a little bit like balloon sleeves, not like very pronounced, but just a little bit, so that it gives them like a different feeling to a normal jacket sleeve. So you have quite a little bit of gathering here at the top, and then you have quite a little bit of gathering at the bottom where the cuffs go, which I think it looks so cute. It makes them look like big and like fluffy at the same time. I don't know, that's my feeling. So yeah, that's really nice, and I'll show you on the other sample another alternative that you have. And then you've got the front button plackets, all the way down, not many buttons, which I think is good. And then one of the main things that I like about this pattern is that instead of using lining, we are just gonna finish the inside in a nicer way. Of course, you can just go and do a zigzag. You can use your overlooker, so that's your choice. But I think it looks so nice if you use bias binding to finish the seams. So you do like bounded seams, and I think they look so nice. In this case, I just made them like a single one, just together. But you can of course just do it like open, and then you can just bind both of the seams. If of course it will take a little bit more time, so that's why I just did one. But you can just do it your own way. And then also we don't have a facing for the collar, so it's even easier, I think, to finish. And then you can use as well the bias binding technique to finish the neckline, and it looks so nice. And I love this effect that when you're wearing a jacket and then you have made, of course, and then you take it off, and then you're just like, oh yeah, all the seams are this pretty. So I don't know, I think it looks so cute when you take it off and someone is like, oh, the inside is so beautiful, and you're like, I know. So yeah, this version is done. Maybe it's just like I'm sure that many of you makers understand what I'm saying. So the other version is the trench, which I absolutely adore, is this one. So it's quite long. Of course, you can just make it shorter, longer, whatever you prefer. I think it's like below, yeah, it's just right below the knee, a little bit more than below the knee, but not as in up to the feet. And then the trench version comes with these pockets that I've mentioned, patch pockets with the flap. Of course, this you can change with the other one, and inseam pockets, because I mean, not enough pockets, we need more pockets, so more pockets. Then the difference between this one and the other one is that you can add like a big bow on the cuffs, so it's like a cuff bow, and I think it looks so cute. The sleeve is exactly the same, the difference is that you have the bow, and then the inside is the same. In this case, for example, as you can see, I just went for the overlocker because I didn't have that much time to finish the inside with binding, but then I used some binding here, which I think it looks pretty cute. And then of course you've got a belt so that you can, you know, make it tighter and closer. And honestly, I'm in love with this pattern. I just hope that people can fall in love as much as I love it as well. So yeah, this is the other version. So let's talk a little bit about the size ranges now. So for this one, we've got as well two size ranges like the last patterns I've been releasing. So one is for cup B, and then you can see on the description box links to this pattern, and then you can check like all the sizes and everything. And then the other one is cup D, up to 159 centimeters or 63 inches hip. So that's the biggest size. And then yeah, you can choose in between the two, and you can then make both versions, one, the other, whatever you prefer. Then regarding the fabrics, there are two options that you have that I think is like a good division. One is if you want to go for a more structured finish, so it's not so much like a soft garment, so it's more like a structure. It keeps the shape and the structure, and I think that works very well for the jacket. Is if you use denim, twill, gabardine, canvas, oilskin, for example. So mine is like a sort of twill, thick cotton twill. It actually has a little bit of a stretch, which I found not the best thing, but I mean, it turned out well. And then if you want a more relaxed style, you can go for tencel, twill, linen even, if you want to make more like a summery version. Maybe if you live somewhere where it's not that hot, or the evenings are a little bit cold, then you can go for the jacket or the trench, just to put something on that is a little bit lighter, and even chambray, for example. So yeah, I think those options are there and available for you if you want to just, you know, make it in a different way. And then I'm gonna talk about the techniques that you will be learning, because I think that's very important if you're a beginner, for example, and you want to make your first jacket or kind of coat, trench. You will of course be learning the inseam and patch pockets that I have shown you. Then you will be learning how to do a flat collar that I didn't mention in this case. You don't have the ruffle, so the ruffle is optional. And of course you will also learn how to add a ruffle to a collar, which is a technique that then you can do with anything, any other pattern in general that you make. Then you will also learn the buttonholes. If you have never done a button placket, then you will learn buttonholes. You will learn how to attach the cuffs, and in this case, for example, also do like the little bow. Then you will learn how to do the sleeves. I think on the pattern, I don't remember right now the instructions, but I think I teach you how to do them flat instead of satin sleeves. So I thought years ago that if you were not using jersey, and if you had like a sleeve with a crown or with gathers, the only option for you was to do a satin sleeve. And I honestly absolutely hate satin sleeves. I think they are the worst to sew, and they just don't fit very well on the arm of the machine, or maybe it moves, I don't know, I just hate them. So one day I saw someone mentioning that you can do flat sleeves on a woven fabric, and I was like, I'm gonna try that. So I did it, and honestly, I'm a convert. I'm not doing more satin sleeve, I just hate them so much. So I still do my sleeves flat. So you can see the tutorial for this pattern on YouTube as well. I will leave the link below so that you can go to the part where I do the sleeves flat, or you can check that on the instructions. So honestly, life-changing. It's so much better. And then you can also learn using bias binding for the seams, which I think is a really cute technique, which sometimes is called Hong Kong seams. When they are a little bit thinner, I think it is. If they are thicker, it's as bounded seams. So yeah, and then to finish the inside of the collar with bias tape as well, I think the finish is so nice. And then you can always, use those beautiful bias binding that you can find, or maybe you can create them yourself if you have really nice fabric. So yeah. So I really love this pattern, honestly. I hope that more people make it this time, because when I release it, I understand that when it's not a dress, which is more popular, or when it's not like a very more like beginner type of project, it's more difficult for people to, think, oh yeah, I'm gonna make it. So I really hope that this time, people really fall in love with this, because it's so cute. And honestly, if you follow the instructions and if you follow the YouTube tutorial, you will be totally fine. And of course, you can always send me an email. I always reply to everyone, unless it goes to my junk folder and I don't see it, but that's very rare. So I always reply to everyone. So you have doubts, you can email me there, or you can just write to me on Instagram or YouTube, whatever you want, and just ask me if you have any trouble and I will help you. So yeah, that's the first pattern. And now let's talk about hazelnut. Yay! Okay, so now let's talk about hazelnut. So this is my first and only accessory pattern. As I mentioned before, I wanted to do something different, something that didn't have to do anything with fitting. I think at that time I was a little bit tired of just all the fitting issues that I was encountering. I think it was after I released the cinnamon trousers, which it was a nightmare. So yeah, I think I was like, I'm done. And that's when I also got into quilting, and I was like, I really love quilting. There's not much fitting, going on around. Anyway, so hazelnut is this super cute backpack. It's like a satchel type of backpack. The style is more like a rectangular shape, and I don't know, I really like it. And even though it's my pattern, I know I'm talking about my own things like that, but I don't know, I really like them. So I'm just gonna check here, because this one has like more stuff going on and I don't want to forget about anything. So you have 3 sizes, the big, the medium, and then the mini. The big, you have all the measurements and everything, like I don't want to give them now here, but you have like all the measurements on the description box, so you can just click on the information about the pattern. So you've got the big, which can fit a 15-inch laptop. Then you have the medium, which can fit a 13-inch laptop, and then the mini, which is just like a mini version of the backpack, which I think is really cute. So what I would say is this pattern I think is great if you want to make something that is not closure, maybe a little bit tired of all the dressmaking things and you want to make something different, or you want to make a present for someone but you don't want to have to deal with the fitting and the sizes and this and that. So I think this is a really nice present for yourself or for anybody else. And also I think it's a good starter for hardware use. So because this comes with type of buttons, and then all the thing is regarding the hardware, not the thing is the hardware regarding a backpack. And I don't know, I think that is, for example, here as well, the D rings and these rectangular rings and everything. So I think it's like a good starting point for you to just go and think, okay, so I need to buy this, and then how to use that with the materials and how to stitch it. And I don't know, I think it's like a nice challenge and something, like a different project to get your teeth into and just discover something different and new. Yeah, I was gonna say that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just describe a little bit about the pattern. So you have the two pockets at the front. You can have them flat like this, so just patch pockets, and these are good if you're using a very thick material or a material that doesn't fold properly well. And then you've got the gusseted pockets, which are like 3D, so it's patch pockets but 3D. So you have these here, you know, the same, but they have like this space. So this is just your choice. What I would say is, if your fabric is very thick or just like quite hard to, you're using for example oilskin, just go for the patch instead, because if not, it might be a little bit difficult for your machine to go through all those layers. For example, you've got the option of padded straps, which I think is so nice. So I give you all the information about the material. So it's like a little paddy material inside of the strap. So you have like more a backpack type of strap, or you can just go for webbing and then just use it as your strap. Another thing, you can use normal buttons, then you can use these ones that you just, you know, clap, or use a hammer. And then you of course have all the hardware for backpacks, which is the same on both all the versions. And then inside you can opt as well for a zipper, so pocket with a zipper in here, so you've got that. And then I don't think I've done that on any of these versions. Yes, on this one you can have your top of your backpack open without anything. I mean, sometimes when I think about these patterns, I'm just like, wow, I put so much effort onto this and all the options. This is like, wow. So this you have with a zipper or without, so you have both options, okay? And then there is another option. If you want to have your laptop and you know, carry it inside, on the instructions you will find, I don't have it on these options, but you will have like a compartment separated from the rest of the backpack so that you can put your laptop in there. So as you can see, I mean, everything is being thought of. And there is someone, for example, one of my lovely testers, Irene, she put a zipper here, so it's like anti-theft. It's called anti-theft pocket. So she put a pocket here on the inside with a zipper here, so it was against her bag, and she could put there like the phone, for example, her mobile phone. I don't know, I thought it was a really nice idea. So you have all these options to choose from. Honestly, guys, don't tell me this is not cute, because this is very cute. I mean, you have to make this pattern, and honestly, just check all the samples that the testers made and my samples. I think you will fall in love with this. So cute. And this version, especially with this canvas, is beautiful. Anyway, so now regarding the fabric, you can go for the outer, you can go for cotton canvas. For example, this one is a canvas, this one is as well is canvas. Then you can go for PVC. I made a version that you can see, I think, on the links, with PVC fabric, so it's like this sort of raincoat type of material. And for that one, I would recommend, of course, in general, just use a needle more for like jeans or for leather, so a really strong needle for your machine. And then if you use a PVC fabric, I would use a presser foot that is like a slider, so it slides on top of your PVC material, because if you use your normal presser foot, it's not gonna really move forward. So you can use one of those sliders. It's like a white plasticky presser foot that it slides on top of that type of material, so just have that in mind. And then you can go for oilcloth, for example. I think it would look super nice. Fake leather, dry oilskin. And then for the inside, for the lining, I will always go for quilting cotton. Something that is not very like hard, but then that, you know, it keeps like the structure of the bag. And of course you will be using as well interfacing, you know, to make everything stronger. And then talking about the techniques that you will be using, I think basically it's just the whole thing. The whole thing, I think if you have never done accessories, the whole thing is like a technique that you're, lots of techniques that you're learning, from, you know, how to attach all the pieces, how to do the lining and the flap and the back, and using this type of material and everything. I think is really nice to learn in general. So yeah, I'm really in love with this pattern. I think these two patterns are really nice, and I really hope that this time, you know, more people fall in love with them. And also this tutorial for the backpack you can also find online on my YouTube channel. When you buy the pattern, then you have all the instructions with lots of steps and all the technical drawings, and then you can do it at the same time while you watch the YouTube tutorial. So that's always good. So yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and also I didn't mention that you also have the option of having these. Honestly, how many cute details. Anna, good job. Anyway, I really hope you like this video alone. I know it may be a little bit longer than usual because I was talking about nutmeg and now hazelnut, but I hope you find it interesting, and you know, it gets you motivated to do something that maybe you have never done before. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully the next video will be not another pattern of the month but something a little bit different. We'll see. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and leave some comments below regarding your autumn winter plans, or if you would think about making outerwear or accessories, and your experience. I don't know, let me know anything you want. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.